Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to part 2 of the dialogue with Grainne Mhaol. If you're prepared to accompany us on this brief dialogue of part 2, I bid you sit comfortably, still your modern distractions, and lend your ear. Grainne Mhaol. The notion first impressed itself upon me while listening to music of the 1940s. There is, within those melodies and vocal renderings, a certain textural richness, a depth of tone and sentiment that modern compositions seldom seem to possess.
Grainne Mhaol, pirate queen of Connacht, leans in with eyes sharp as a falcon's and voice rumbling like a distant thunder on the Atlantic.
Ah, now you speak of song. Sit you down, child of the storm and stranger to the oar, and I'll give you a sailor's truth about music, which be a kind of witchcraft older than any crown or creed. So ye've heard the songs of the 1940s. Fine, ghost-warmed things they are, draped in velvet and smoke, stitched through with longing. I have not heard of these tunes myself, mind you. I've been too long in the grave for radios and such. But I know the feel you're speaking of. That ache that lingers between the notes. The tremble in the voice of a woman singing like she's lived and lost 100 lifetimes. Aye, that texture ye named, that's not just music. That's memory with a melody. That's wounds turned into wonder. Let me tell ye this, in every age, there is a kind of music that carries the weight of its people. Not the clamour made of coin or courtly display. No, I speak of the deep songs. The ones sung low in the dark when no one's watching. The ones that hold grief like a chalice and spill joy like stolen wine. Back in my day, we had laments that'd break the bones in your chest, and war chants that'd boil your blood and send you laughing into the maw of death. We sang not to be heard, but to survive. And if the music ye speak of from that 1940s time still stirs your heart today, long after the voices that sang it have fallen to dust, then that is no accident. That is proof the song carries more than sound. It carries spirit. Truth wrapped in tune. Longing that can cross centuries like a ship cuts through fog. Now, as for the modern age, I've heard whisper of it. So much noise, but little soul, they say. Songs without scars, rhythms without roots. But I'll not damn it all outright. There are always some, hidden in the shadows, singing for real, for life, not fashion. But they must be sought out like pearls in a storm-racked sea. So I tell ye, if those old songs move you more than the polished clamour of the present, it's because you've got soul that hears the echoes, not just the noise. You've ears tuned not just to melody, but to meaning. A rarer thing. Don't let it be dulled.
Would you not agree that when one draws a comparison between the music of our present day and that of the 1940s, a certain textural richness appears to have been lost? The tonal breadth, the subtlety of feeling, the layered warmth once so characteristic of that era's sound, these seem, in large part, to have been diminished. One cannot help but feel that the range of expression has narrowed, and with it, something essential has quietly slipped away.
Grainne Mhaol, pirate queen of Connacht, leans her scarred arms upon the rough-hewn table, eyes glinting like stormlight on iron, voice low and flint-edged with memory and judgment.
I would agree, and more than that, I would stake me name on it. There's a kind of truth in the music ye speak of, that old 1940s sound like it were woven from brass, and the bruises of the human heart. I've not heard it with mine own ears, no, but the way ye speak of it, I know the type. Songs with weight, songs that lived before they were sung. There's a depth to such music, a grain, like a seasoned timber or weathered sailcloth. Rich, not because it's perfect, but because it's honest. And you're right as rain in saying that something's been lost. The sounds of this modern world, what little I've gleaned of it from your telling, seem slick as a nobleman's lie, polished till there's no edge left to catch the soul. It's as though the songs are made not to wound, not to stir, but to please. And I tell ye plain, that's not the business of true music. A real song ought to bruise ye, make ye remember something you never lived, or weep for something you never lost. Where is the risk, I ask ye? Where is the silence between the notes that says more than the sound itself? Where is the tremor in the voice, the near break that tells ye the singer bled for the song they now offer like a sacrament? Aye, it takes courage to sing with restraint, to let longing stretch across a phrase, to whisper when others would shout. That's what the old music had. Not just the range of tone, but range of truth. And when that is stripped for ease or spectacle, something sacred is stolen from the world. Let the others have their noise, their clever beats and hollow joy. I'll take the tune that walks like a ghost beside me, slow and steady, weighted with memory. So yes, child, something essential has slipped away, like an old lover no one noticed leaving. And I'll wager the world's colder for it, though most can't say why. But you feel it. And that means the fire's not dead yet. Keep the flame. Protect it like a ship in the storm, for you carry not just taste, but testimony.
But would you not also concede that this loss extends beyond the realm of music and into the fabric of our everyday interactions? Life, after all, is not chiefly composed of grand events, but is rather lived quietly and persistently within the domain of the ordinary. And yet, when that very ordinariness is confined within rigid parameters, prescribed, measured, and constrained, it is as though one has severed the branch from the tree of life itself. A living part amputated, and with it, the vitality that once flowed freely.
Grainne Mhaol, pirate queen of Connacht, now stiller than before, her storm-bound temper turned inward, voice lowered to the quiet ferocity of tide pulling back before a great wave, answers with the weight of centuries behind her.
Aye, by the old gods and the saints alike, I would concede it, and not lightly. For what you speak of now is no small sorrow, no passing ache, No, this is a deep wound, carved slow and silent into the flesh of the living world. And I feel it's as you do. Ye speak true when ye say life is not built of battles and ballads alone, but of quiet moments, the worn hand brushing another, the bread broken between kin, the glint of sun on bucket water, or the hush of a well-spoken word in the hush between storms. These are the roots of living, not loud but essential. And when these are twisted into shape by rule or fashion, made neat, made efficient, made acceptable, then, aye, ye've not merely trimmed the tree, ye've bled it dry. Tell me this, what is a life if stripped of all that does not serve coin or image? What is a greeting that bears no weight, a shared glance that means naught, a day passed without true feeling, only mimicry of it? It's death in life, that's what it is, a sort of silent burial beneath a mountain of decorum and demand. In my time, there was hardship, aye, raw, sharp, and unforgiving. But there was also fullness. When a man laughed, it echoed. When a woman mourned, the land itself seemed to bow. Even the smallest things were felt. A cup of mead, a sea wind through the sails, the simple joy of sitting beside someone who'd not turn their back when the tide rose. That was life. Now, from what you tell me of your age, you've built walls not just around lands, but around moments. Everything measured, everything filtered, even feeling itself must be packaged, lest it cause discomfort or waste time. Bah, time. What use is saving time if you spend it dead inside? So, I see what you see. The ordinary has been shackled. The pulse of daily life, once warm and unpredictable, now marches to a metronome of someone else's making. And in that losing gun, you've not just pruned a branch, you've betrayed the root. But I tell ye this, and listen close, not all is lost, so long as there is one soul, just one, who still feels deeply in the small things, who still lingers in the quiet, who resists being boxed and flattened and filed away, then life endures.